Alright, I've already cut out one end for my top bar beehive, and I'm simply going to go ahead and use the one I've already cut out as the pattern here. Get it lined up. I had it pull over here. I was about to cut over here, like so, just to show you the kinds of things that you run into, and then took a closer look at it before I did my measuring and cutting. Look down and see there's a big, there's a knot hole here, so obviously I don't want that on one of my ends. And so at first I thought, well, you've done it now, and I thought, well, wait a minute, you haven't made the cut yet. So I just flipped it over and going to realign it here. Now I'm going to show you the link at the bottom. Be sure to look at the bottom. There's a specific fellow that I use as a guide here. Also, there's also an issue of here's a thing in grit, backyard bees and honey. But listen, the guy I want you to look at, I really like the way he comes across, the way he explains things, and so I'm going to put a link down below here to his instructional videos, and they're really good. Now, by the way, you're going to see that I've not cut this at the right depth. This thing is supposed to be a foot deep, okay? And this is not even close to being a foot deep, but this is my first hive. I'm going to go ahead and press on with it, and I can make another one. But the important thing at this point for me is to go ahead and launch and get one done and press on. So we'll go from there. The other thing I was going to mention, although there's probably a really good reason for the thing being a foot deep, but the reality is, as far as I can see so far, is even though this is not quite a foot deep, it's like 9.5 inches, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to put the bars at the top hanging down, and the bees will draw that comb down until they get to the bottom, no matter where the bottom is. So, you know, it'd be nice if I did it right and had it all the way a foot deep, but this one is going to be slightly more shallow. I think even in the, in the third world countries, they probably didn't measure to exactly 1 foot. So, so I'm just getting started. All right, now I went ahead now and have fixed the sideboard on. And of course, I would have liked to use old wood. Old wood works best. I mean, the bees like old wood. The old wood that I did have that was long enough was treated wood, and I do not want to use treated wood for the bees. But the great thing about this, let me show you what we're going to do here. This board, I have a gap here, which is going to work out just perfect because the hardware cloth that I'm going to put on the bottom, I can go ahead and put the other side on, just like I put on this side, and then put the hardware cloth on and wrap it around on each side, wrap it around and secure it, and then put on my 1x2 or whatever it is that I need on that side. So that's going to work out just perfect. All right, now with the helping hands of Prepper A, we now have this progression of the top bar beehive. Of course, you're looking at it upside down, but now we're in a position where we can add the hardware cloth for the bottom and then the 2 other retainer strips. All right, now here's the piece of hardware cloth that I'm going to use, and this is, I believe this is number 8 hardware cloth here. And I just lucked out when I went to the hardware store to buy this hardware cloth of this size. I just happened to get their very last piece. Well, on the very last piece, it has an edging on it here. See that? Well, with that edging on there, I can use that to my advantage, because now what I can do is I can pull it up here and seat it exactly right there, and then use a staple gun to hold it in place. I can do the same thing with the other end and then trim it, and we're good to go. So we're going to go to that, I'm going to hand the camera over to Prepper A here for a moment, and we'll put a few staples in. All right, now that we are to this point, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do now. Well, now that I've added the other bottom strip here, and have also done the same thing on this side as I did the previous side, and staple along the insides. Now this is further along, and next time we'll do the bars on the top bar beehive. Paladin Prepper.